also want to talk about what happened to you in that whole situation with the kidnapping guy.
The serial killer.
How did you even get in that? Did someone you know this guy? Like, how we all end up at the same party?
No, what happened, I was relatively new in California. You know, this was in
it happened here?
Yeah, in California in 1993. I arrived in 1990, but it was in 1993. The latter part of 1993, I was looking for work.
Okay.
You dig? So I had gone to this location in Santa Monica. I forget the name of it. Towers Financial something. I forget the name of it. And I was working there for about 3 weeks. And during the time that I was there, it was really cool because, you know, it was fun to be around my culture, my people. It was a lot of fun, my people. And I hadn't been around my culture since I left Philadelphia home. Mm-hmm. You dig? So it was cool. And it was all of our people there. And after, you know, lunchtime or break time, they were always playing dominoes.
Okay.
I call it bones. And it was something that I never saw before. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was interesting. So, you know, as time, the 3 weeks that I was there, I learned a little bit how to play.
Okay.
So they extended an invitation to me to come to a domino game party down in Englewood. You know, and that's what I did. And Benita was the one who had, a girl named Benita is the one who actually befriended me, you know, and she was the one who had invited me down. She was the one, I drove with her to her home, and I was there at her home, and, you know, her kid was there, etc. And then that's when Lonnie came over. You know, and
who's Lonnie?
Lonnie Franklin Jr., the serial killer.
The serial killer. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, Lonnie had came over, you know, and they had gone into the bedroom. You know, so I just, in my mind, just figured that he was her man. I didn't know.
Right.
You understand? Because they were in there quite some time. And then afterwards, we had, they came out. He introduced himself. Hi, I'm Lonnie. I said, hi, you know, I'm Penny. Because my phone name was, we all had phone names. At Tower Finance. So my phone name was Penny Murphy because everyone was telling me I looked like Eddie Murphy. You dig? And the reason why I used the name Penny because it was very hard for them, the customers, they were too busy focusing on my name Fredia. Okay. Who are you? So I wanted something real simple. But anyway, so my name was Penny. So she introduced Lonnie to me. You know, Penny, this is Lonnie. Lonnie's Penny. I was like, oh, my mom used to date a guy named Lonnie. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, cool. So we shook hands, etc. And then we all had gone to the domino games. I went with Benita, and she had her kid, and he had gone in his vehicle, whatever that was. And we're just having a great time. And I was just standing around. And when our people get together, we get together.
There you go.
You know what I mean? It was a real big party. And domino party was the first time that I'd ever seen anything like that before in my life because domino's new to me. Now, I had my paycheck. Okay, so I finally had a fake paycheck. I took my paycheck down there, cashed my paycheck, went down there, and I lost all my money but my bus fare. But I learned how to play dominoes. Yeah. Okay, and during the time that I was there, I noticed that Lonnie had taken a liking to me. You dig? He was always doing like this with drinks. Oh, you know, man. Coming back and forth like this here with drinks. You know, and when I took a sip, I was like, oh, God, you know, I don't drink.
Right.
You know, no one knew I was there. I'm in California to pursue a career in kickboxing. No one knew that I was there to become world champion. They just saw me as a worker, an employee. So he kept giving me drinks. And what happened, what I realized is one time I took a sip, and suddenly I felt like, whoa, man, I'm fucking tired. You know what I mean? I got really, really exhausted. And I excused myself from the table and went into the bathroom.
Do you think he put something in your drink?
Yeah, he did. There's no doubt. I went to the bathroom and I threw some water on my face, and I kept throwing water on my face like, man, I'm tired. I was getting tired. And I had stayed in the bathroom for a bit. When I came out the bathroom, he was right there.
Damn.
He was right there. And you know, he was right there for me, and I was like, no, don't, you know, because I thought he was pursuing me, and I was like, yo, man, don't do this, you know, you're in my mind, you're Benita's man. I don't roll like that,
right?
You know, I'm not gonna, you know, don't. Right. And then I sat back down, you know, and we're playing dominoes, etc. And then suddenly I got back up again, you know, I don't know why, and I went into the kitchen. And then I said, you know, I excused myself. I don't want to play anymore. I just want to watch because I lost my money. I went in the kitchen. I'll never forget. I went in the kitchen, and I went to throw water on my face again because somebody was in the bathroom, you know, because whatever it was trying to get me, it was making me tired. And that's when he came into the kitchen again. And it was getting late, like about 1, 2 o'clock, and I was like, okay. I said, look, I don't roll like that, bro. Don't do that. I don't roll like that. Please stop it. And then finally I got to Benita. I was like, Benita, you know, it's like past 1 o'clock. You know, I gotta go. You said you take me home. You know what I mean? So that's how this all started with Benita, the girl Benita that I met. And she just prolonged, and then she had her baby there, etc. And then finally everybody was moving all out, and Lonnie, he was like, well, look, I'll take you home. Because she said, why don't you just stay over here, And yeah, exactly. That's what I was like, no, I don't know you. I don't even know anybody here. And I suddenly realized I don't know anybody here. That's what it was like a wake-up call, like, what the world? I don't know no one here.
Right.
And I just lost my paycheck. Shit. And I just lost my bus fare.
This shit is not 2024.
Yes, I realized that.
Ain't no shit.
And suddenly another wake-up call is, and my friend told me not to ever go to Inglewood. When I first came to California, there were locations they told me not to go to. You understand? And it was suddenly like I got this wake-up call, like, Anyway, make a long story short, so, I didn't want to stay there, and Lonnie was like, well, look, I'll take you home. I said, okay, cool. So I got in the van with him, and I've gotten in many vehicles before in my lifetime. But when I got in the van, I heard the door lock like I've never heard a door locked before. And that's when I said, I was like.
Yeah, that instinct kicked in.
Yeah. And I got in. I was already in, though. I was like, Lord, please don't let me have to fuck this dude up. That's what I'm thinking in the car. You know what I mean? And as we were driving, I said turn right, and he turned left. I was like, yo, bro, you going the wrong way. And suddenly he just went on down this area, wherever we were. I have absolutely no idea. And that's when he looked at me. He said, won't you let me stick it in and I'll take you home? And I was like, nah, man, no. And I reached for the doorknob, and there was no doorknob. Dang. So I was reaching for the window to roll it down because I was going to jump out the window. There was a window. I was like, damn. Then I looked over at him, and he had completely transformed. He was
How big is this guy?
Not very big. Probably like, I don't know. I'm like, 5'8". He's probably like 6 foot or maybe a little shorter. A little shorter because he wasn't that tall, But he was, I remember him being in a uniform.
What about you? You was like, your pictures as a kickboxer, you was like, who the fuck tries somebody that look like that?
Yeah. Well, when I got my clothing on,
too,
when I got my clothing on, yeah, and when I'm dressed is a different thing, but when I'm in the gym, we just raggedy, we just going at it, yeah.
But what happened from there?
Yeah.
So I got in the van. Yeah, so we were in the car, and he said, look, let me stick it in, and I'll take you home. And I was like, no, bro, let me out this. Once I realized the knob, and I was like, let me out this van. You will never see me again, and Benita will never see me again. And he insisted on it. Then he went to punch me to knock me out. He went to punch me in my face. Boom. And that's when I blocked it. Boom. And I hit him. Bam. In the face. And I ran to the back of the van to try to run out the back of the van. When I ran to the back of the van, there was this big-ass chain on it in the lock. I couldn't get out. And I turned back, and I'm looking at him. I was like, damn, he was on his way back. I was like, damn, I knew I couldn't go to my door because there was no knob. So I said, okay, fine, I'm going to go to his door then.
Right.
Okay. So what I did, I tried running by him real fast, boom, to go to his door. When I dove to go to his door to unlock it, he grabbed my legs and pulled me back through, And listen, like I was telling him, he was on top of me. He said, listen, just let me stick it in. He had my arms down. Let me stick it in, and I'll take you home. I said, no, man. But I was looking him dead in his eyes. He said, just let me stick it in. I'll take you home. I said, okay. As soon as he let my arms loose, I was like, I jumped up real fast, and I got my back up against the van where the door is, the big lock
where
was.
The chain was. Okay.
Yeah. I got my back up against the van, and I remember mother telling me, if ever you're in a situation where you have to always keep your back up against that wall. You understand me? So I heard my mom's voice in that van. You dig? So I kept my back up against it. He was coming to, and I was like, bam! I was like, get away here, bam! Then I was like, oh, fuck this here, man. Look, man, just let me out the van. I moved all around the van, all the way around, and then I started throwing leg kicks at him. He's like, bam, bam. I was just like, bam, bam. And I kept chopping his leg. And then finally he was like, oh shit, you one of them fighting bitches. You know what I mean? And then when I saw fear in his eyes, I knew that the chops from his legs was he only had one leg. So it was time to get the next leg. That makes sense?
Right.
So I was chopping, I was going to get the next leg. Then that's when he came at me like a football player. Woo, woo, woo. And he went to tackle me. Boom. And when he hit me so hard. My back hit up against the metal there. And I was like, my voice was like, don't give up now, Fredia. Not now. You know what I mean? Because he hit me hard. Yeah. And I grabbed the end of his shirt tail. Wham, whoo, whoo, whoo. I slammed him down. Boom. Then I ran down. I grabbed his pants and I pulled him over his shoes. I stepped on his chest and I grabbed his dick.
Okay.
And that's when I said, where the keys at, motherfucker? You know what I mean? That shit ain't funny, man. That shit ain't, well, you all laugh down. That shit ain't funny. That shit ain't funny, man. I'm trying to tell you.
That was a 80s action punchline.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was yelling, where the keys at? He said, in my pocket. I said, which one? I held on tight to his shit. I mean, I ain't know this shit even stretched out. I know now. I had no idea, but he was yelling. He's like, get out of the van, get out of the van. I was like, oh, so now you want me to get out of the van? When I wanted to get out, I had to let you stick it in. You know what I mean? And then you take me home. So I got the keys. There was like a ring and a bunch of keys on that mug. And I'm still holding on to his shit, and he's still yelling. I said, which key is it? He said, it's the orange. It's the orange. So I took the orange key and I pulled him all over to the door. He was just yelling,
This is Cat Williams.
Unlock the lock. Get out, bitch, get out. I unlocked the lock. Ripped the chain off, and I pulled him all the way over. I said, listen, if ever you see me on the streets, because mind you, I'm from the projects.
Right.
You know, if ever you see me on the streets, what are you going to say? He's like, hi. I was like, no, you're not. You're going to go the opposite fucking direction. Do you understand me? He's like, yes, just get out. And as I pulled over, I made sure both of the doors was unlocked so I could escape. I said one more thing. He's like, what? Just get out. I said, listen. When a bitch says no, she means no. And
There you go.
Bomb! Took the keys, I walked out, tossed the keys, and I went straight to nothing but a bunch of fog. Wherever he had me at, it was fog land. Because I kept falling down like, where am I? And then suddenly, it's like this long, I saw these tiny, tiny, tiny lights from a distance. And the spirit said, just follow the lights, Fredia. Follow the lights. So I focused on following the lights, and I followed the lights. And the closer that I got to, because I was in fog. I couldn't see nothing. I followed the lights, and the closer I got to the lights were getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then I finally got on the other side of the lights, and guess what it was, champ?
Church.
A yellow cab. Old white man sitting in a yellow cab with the lights on, waiting for me to get there. Had to be. And I said, listen, you got to get me. I need you to get me out of here. This man just tried to rape me. You know what I mean? Because my clothing were virtually off. You know, I mean, I was overdressed, East Coast overdressed. I didn't know what kind of party it was, so I was really overdressed. You know, and I had on my good shit. And it was just. The bottom line is
how the cab guy react.
The cab, what's that?
How the cab guy react out of nowhere.
He just said, like, hop in. It was just like, he was a real calm, old white man.
Right. Probably Jesus.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, and when he took me to my friend's home, you know, because I was living in Tahunga at the time, so he took me to the closest, the people I met when I came to California on Cloverdale and Wilshire or Olympic. He dropped me off there. I said, wait a moment. I said, I don't have any money. I said, but I can get you some money. And I went to knock on the door because I didn't have any keys or anything, you know. Knock on the door. When I turned back, dude was gone. The cab was literally gone. But I was so terrified, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just wanted to get out of California. Once I finally got in, you know, I told my friends, look, this guy tried to rape me, you know, I just want to go home. I finally got back to my home. I called my family. I told them this guy tried to rape me, and I want to get out of California right now. And, you know, they got me out of California within the next 24 hours. So I was literally on the next plane, you know, back to Pennsylvania once they got the money together. And I had no intentions of ever coming back to California again, you know. And what I experienced on the plane was something that I had never experienced before in my life because I was in fight mode, everything. You know, my energy and everything was just everything. I could hear everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything, you know, and I kept fighting. They gave me some pills to calm me down because I told them this guy tried to rape me. You know, I just want to go. I get to Philadelphia. My family's there at the airport. You know, my grandmothers, my two grandmothers and my mother, my grandpa, you know, and the little kids. And, you know, I felt safe. You know, I felt real safe at the time. And I was there for some time, probably like, 60, 90 days. And I was going through something. I was really going through something emotionally. And my family knew that I was. But like my mom was like, "Sissy, stop." It's like, if you try, I just think he was trying to rape me. You don't understand. I never experienced anything like that before.
Right.
It's different when my uncle and I are going at it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But this was like really for real. This is like the real life, real stuff. And I kept telling my mom, he was trying to rape me. My mom said, "God damn," my mom smacked me. She was like, "What? God damn it, sissy. It was a fight. You won the fucking fight. Did he rape you? No. Okay. Get rid of that thought. It was a fight and you won the fight." You dig? So in my mind, I know I was never going to come to California again. I was already moved in New York because that's where all my family is. New York, Philly, Jersey, and Pennsylvania. You dig? And then I get a call. Now, mind you, I'm going through a lot of emotional stuff here, experiencing some mental issues, emotional issues, everything issues, trying to figure out, control, get me back, find Fredia back. And that's when I got a call to fight for the world title.
Ain't that crazy?
All this hell.
Ain't that crazy how God works sometimes?
Yeah, it was a lot of hell that I was going through, though.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But then he threw you something.
Yeah, he did. He threw me something, and I didn't want to take the fight. My mother's like, "Sister, you can't live in fear like this. You can't continue to live like this."
You had a good mama.
Yeah.
And how long after that experience you found out that person was a serial killer?
About 10 years. Damn. 10 years afterwards. I think it was like in 2000. I was in San Diego at the time, like 2008 or 2009, between 2008 and 2010.
What part of his like serial killing spree was he on when you were like? So he was definitely not just gonna stick it in and take you home. Like he was gonna try to kill you.
Yeah. No, well, he wasn't gonna stick it in.
I get it, but like his intentions, like
I have
he
no
was
idea.
a serial killer at that point, or then he started killing people after you almost ripped
He
his
was a
dick
serial
off?
killer at that point. Now, Maya, I want to share this part with you. Before I came back to Philadelphia, caught the plane back home, I called Benita. I said, "Benita, your dude tried to rape me." She was like, "Ooh." She said, "He's not my dude." She said, "Ooh." She said, "I heard something like that about him." I said, "Well, then why the fuck did you let me take a ride with him then?" You understand? Why did you if you heard things like that about him, then why did you let me get in the van?
But Nina needed ass.
You know what I mean?
Too.
So after I was able to think about everything, it took me a long time because my mom told me to forget about it. Forget about it. Like you do trash, put it in trash and throw it away.
Right.
I'm from the old school, 60s, 70s, those chicks. So I would say I literally forgot about it, but I was still going through things. But I forgot about it. And what was interesting, when I got the call for the fight for the world title, my mom told me, "Listen, you can't continue living like this. You're going to have to face your fears. Just don't go to Englewood." You understand? And see, we were already in the valley anyway, Tarzana, Van Nuys. So Englewood's way down there. So I didn't. As soon as I came back in, I went straight into training. So that was like really great therapy for me, But then when I retired, that's when I started going to a therapy for mental health for this particular situation, because I realized that, going to doctors that I had acquired PTSD.
Right.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
So how did you find out that he was a serial killer? How was your emotion?
I was coming in from the gym, threw my bags down, turned the TV on, and I saw his face right there. And I was like, "Oh, that's that motherfucker right there. Oh my God." I grabbed the phone real fast. I called my mom. I was like, oh my God. The dude that tried to rape me in a van back in California. I was like, he's a serial killer. I freaked out. Then I called my grandmother. I freaked out. I was
Did you call the police?
Huh?
And
No.
let them know that this happened?
No, I didn't call the police. No,
Okay.
No, I didn't call the police at all. And now that I think, because it was so many years ago, and it's not even because just didn't think of it, to do it. You know what I mean?
Looking back at it, would you have wished you had finished them off right then and there?
Now that I knew that he was a serial killer, yeah, I would have. Yeah, I would have. I would have really, really fucked his dick up, where he would never ever. And I think that I really did some damage then, but I really fucked him up where he wouldn't have never been able to get hard again.
So he was the kind. So he was actually. How many people had he killed? At least they suspected him killing up to that point.
He'd already killed over 100 black women down in Englewood.
100?
Over 100. That's and
He's a black guy?
Yeah, black guy. This over 100 before me. And what's crazy is
God damn.
yeah,
100?
that's a lot, over 100. So somebody wasn't doing their job.
He got to be like one of the most murderous serial killers in history.
Yeah.
100's a lot.
100 is so many.
And also, what is interesting is that serial killing is usually my people's thing.
Right.
Right.
You don't got a lot of black serial killers. You know, usually it's white
super
serial
rare,
killers.
yeah.
You know,
Another thing about telling the police, a lot of time, just in my own experience, being black, okay, me knocking on their door, going to their station or calling them. First of all, they see me as black. They don't see me as a human being. And a lot of times they try to twist shit. That's the experiences that I've always had with the cops. They're always twisting things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then the next thing you know, had I told them I'd be in jail, and he out still doing what he's doing.
Assault.
You follow what I'm saying?
You get assault or some
exactly.
shit for
They
fucking them up.
flip shit. They be flipping shit on you.
That's what the cops be doing. That's
Fredia,
for sure.
do you ever think about, like, because they always talk about young black women coming up missing a lot in the United States, and sometimes it seems like some of these things may be undetected because they don't take them as serious, because this guy killed 100
Plus.
black women and almost went unnoticed.
And he was right underneath the police's. He's right there.
How'd they
Police
finally
department.
catch him?
DNA test. They took a DNA test and it came back to. They said it's to his son, and then that's how they called
It's
him.
like when DNA testing first became available and shit like that.
Yeah, but there are a lot of women. There are a lot of them. Let me share this with you. To this day, when I'm in the world, whenever I see a van, I always go and just bump that motherfucker just to make sure there ain't no girl in there trying to fight for her freedom like I was trying to fight for my freedom.
I
You
love
understand? I always do that there. I just bump it, boom. You know what I mean? Boom. Every time I see him, because I'm telling you, they got them vans. Those dudes got those vans set up in there.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I don't know if you ever heard of this, but they have this thing that they do with the van. They park really, really close to the next car, to the driver's side of the car. And then what they try to do is, as you're trying to squeeze and get in there, they open up the van door and try to pull you in.
Yeah.
That's like another... That's a thing for women to really look for if they're seeing their car is being squeezed by a van or some kind of vehicle like that.
Yeah.
So that shit's crazy.
Yeah, women, I just feel that all women, not only women, but just men, but more so women, because we're a woman first, period. So that's not going to change anything. So all men, get your daughters into martial arts, mixed martial arts early, so that she can be prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually for the unexpected when her wolf comes. Because I keep telling everyone, all these girls, you will meet your wolf. You understand me? I met my wolf. You will meet your wolf.
I love that.
And it is important for you to be ready to flip the script on your wolf. You dig? That's the way I was raised.
Do you have like a young female program or anything like that you run or do or have at your gym, or do you know of any that
Any day, anytime, we're there. You know what I mean? Garden Grove Muay Thai or City Con Muay Thai in Monrovia or Garden Grove. You know, I love bringing girls together. You know, I love any of you guys know I'm bringing girls together and we can train them.
I got,
you know, but we already got
an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old daughter.
Yeah. Well, it's time. You got to get them into it early.
Yeah,
I started at 10 years old.
My 4-year-old will definitely be beating people up. 8-year-old, she a softie.
No, she's the one that needs to go.
Yeah, definitely.
She's the one that needs to go because you got to teach her how to be tough, mentally tough.